Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
Who is better at apologizing between the two of you? Pandemic or no pandemic? I'll start with Mick and Megan here. Who's better at apologizing? It's a very important trait. The reason why I'm asking this.
Oh wait, we'll answer in 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Okay, so you say it's me or you.
No, you point na lang.
Point?
Oo.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Runaway winner si Mikael.
Yeah, dude, if you
Run-
pointed at yourself, wala na.
Now,
Sarado na
okay.
to. We make this day interesting right now.
when ako pa may kagagawan, ano? When you say Mick runaway winner, it's either because he's just better at it or he has to multiple times say I'm sorry every now and then. Medyo hindi ko. Tell me, Mick, why are you the runaway winner here? I bring this up because apologizing is a very important thing in a relationship that gets taken for granted. I would like to think, correct me if I'm wrong, for some people it's hard to apologize. For some people it's easy, but it's not sincere. There's always that I'm sorry, but. Yung may kailangan may but. Right? So you're actually, you're apologizing, but you're pointing out something else that you want to be right. And we've all been guilty with that trait. So, Mick, explain yourself.
I guess we pointed at me because I'm very direct with my apologies. And I don't like it when problems linger. So the only time that I would delay it is kung medyo mataas yung emosyon. So you just let that subside. But to be honest with you, after like an hour or two, you kind of like chill already. The adrenaline is gone. And for me, once adrenaline has gone down, I just go up and say, hey, I'm sorry, let's be better. And that's really it. I also agree with what you said about I'm sorry, but. Because I don't agree with that. I think Megan doesn't agree with that either. Because
you have to own up to it.
Yeah, you own up to it. And there's really no point in saying that but, because that but only addresses what happened in the past. And we're never changing that. So you just say, I'm sorry, we'll be better. And as long as that is said, I think we're okay. But the problem here is that even just that, Megan usually procrastinates when it comes to saying that.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, so you want this to drag on? You want this interesting day to become 2 interesting
So
days?
wait, does that
Or 3 interesting days or what?
Okay, does that mean, Megan, that you can sleep through something like an argument and then, postpone it for the next day? Is that something that you can do? No, I ask that because some people can't do that. This is an actual, that's a skill, right? You can sleep through it, and I'm not accusing anyone, by the way, okay?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop you there. I want to make this kwento.
Okay. Meron din, nagigigil din yung other couple eh. Sige, go ahead, Mick, go ahead.
There's a technique.
Okay.
And I've caught her doing this technique. Okay? When she's gonna make the interesting day drag on to another day, what she does is she cries herself to sleep.
Oh.
And I was like, the first time I saw it, I was ready already to just like put this in the past.
Hey, remember, she's an actress. Let me warn you.
when I went in, umiiyak siya, and her back was against the wall on the bed, sobbing and everything. But the thing is, it looked like a scene from a teleserye.
See what I mean?
So, and when I saw it, I was reminded of that, and sobrang natawa ako. I was like, oh my God, bakit ginagawa?
Hindi ka naawa, natawa.
I think if I had my camera, I would have taken it out and given her a snapshot first and taken a photo lang. But it was just so funny, and then I gave her a hug, and I was laughing while giving her a hug, and I was like,
how manipulative of you, partner.
Hey, ginagawa ko lang yun kasi like when I feel stressed, like when we have interesting days, kailangan ko lang talaga ilabas.
Okay.
And then, I talk to you. Kasi feeling ko kapag hindi, I'm just gonna be sobbing and ugly crying in front of Mikael, which I don't want to happen. Kasi alam ko walang mangyayari. I know that the problem isn't going to be fixed.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I do have a problem with saying sorry. It's hard for me kasi parang feeling ko, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to make the fight even bigger. But knowing Mikael and his personality, he likes talking about things right away. He doesn't like the problem to linger. But yun nga, that's a constant struggle that I have to go through is
Right.
getting the words out of my mouth. Kasi minsan ayaw talaga lumabas. Like I don't know how that happens. It's just, sorry, I love you so much.
And it's more interesting. I'll get to the Triviños in a bit. We're talking to Mikael Diaz and Megan Young and Juancho Trevino and Joyce Spring for those listening on radio. This is very interesting also, Joyce and Juancho, because with the pandemic, there is no choice. You are around each other. You know what I mean? Now, there are therapists who would say, hey, there has to be a time in the day where you really physically separate. If you si Joyce muna ay nasa west wing ng bahay, yung si Juancho muna nasa east wing ng bahay. There has to be some separation regardless of whether you're arguing or not. That's what they say, because there just has to be that alone time, because we are taken out of our routine of, okay, when we want to kind of get away from our spouses, our partners or whatever, go shopping, go to the mall, go to the gym, maybe take a run, walk the dog or whatever. It's your time. But that component is taken out. You have to deal with these things. So I go back to you, Juancho and Joyce, who is better at doing that and who can sleep through an argument? Because there are a couple. I personally, if I may add, I personally cannot. So I cannot. Yeah, I have to, at the end of the day, regardless of whether we're separated or not, have to resolve the issue. What say you, Triviños?
Let's do the pointing thing too.
Let's say the name. Who's better at apologizing? In 3, 2, 1. Juancho.
Mm-hmm. The guys, look at that, stepping up to the game. Go ahead. Okay, you seem to have a story, Juancho. Tell us, please.
I'm back na yung girls, ha? This is a competition. Boys will win.
Joyce has a story.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, okay, so Juancho and I are very different in that whenever there's a problem, I'm the type of person that doesn't want to deal with it at the moment. Kind of like with Megan, I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I need space. I can't deal with the problem instantaneously. And Juancho is the type of person that could have a monologue about all the issues that we need to resolve for 30 minutes straight without getting word in. And he would
Without stopping.
Without stopping, nothing. Siguro he would just stop for for crying in between. But apart from that, he just keeps on going. And my problem is I'm always just like, okay, are you done? That's my problem. So but we're trying to be better at it. And the way that we're doing that is I'm learning to say sorry these days. And I'm trying to beat him to it. So whenever we have an argument, I always tell him, okay, let's separate muna. You go, you do, and be in the west part of the condo. I'll be here.
The West Wing.
So West Wing ka muna, dito muna ako sa lobby. And I would tell him to give me a little bit of time. Mga 30 minutes to an hour lang before we come back and resolve things. And now I'm trying to beat him to it. I try to say sorry before he even does. Even though somebody's winning the argument, it doesn't really matter to us anymore as long as we try to resolve it. But yeah, ang daming beses na in the beginning of the quarantine, we'd have a lot of huge fights. And
really
I'm
interesting.
the type of person, yeah. So I'm
were there recordings of this fight that we can release on the internet?
Yeah, save for blackmailing in the future. But yeah, I would always be the type of person that could sleep through any fights. So I'd be able to sleep already, and Juancho can't take it. So he would wake me up in the middle of the night, like 1 or 3
I get you, buddy. I get you. Yeah.
And he's just like, sorry, I really tried to sleep this off. I went to the sala, I tried to sleep, I couldn't sleep. I just really need to talk to you. So we talk things through, and then we go to sleep. So, right?
Yeah, it's different now. Just like what she said, na she's trying to say sorry na kaagad. So the other interesting time that we've had this week, I was knocking on the door and I was gonna say na parang, alam mo Joyce, tapos nag-sorry siya, tapos parang
Supalpal.
I was caught off guard, and I had this whole speech prepared and everything, and it just went to waste. And I forgave her. And yeah, it's hard for me to sleep it off if there's something that's bothering me and it wasn't resolved. But in my perspective naman, the reason why I say sorry kaagad is me knowing that it's not a competition. If I made you feel a certain way, I'm sorry that you felt that. We can't be, out here trying to discuss for an hour on what we fought about and how that made you feel. But we went straight to the root of the problem and just magsorry lang tayo sa mga bagay na
Figure it out.
naramdaman natin sa isa't isa, and that works out well naman for the both of us.
Something that Juancho always tells me that I always try to remember, even if I'm at the height of my emotion, is he always says, you have to remember that we're batting for the same team. We're not fighting against each other. Sometimes it might feel that way because, we're going through this issue, but even though we've hurt each other, we have to always remember that we're on the same team. We're on the same boat. If you aren't willing to participate and change things and adjust to each other, tayo parehas yung talo. So that really helps me change my perspective, even when I have high emotions.
Well, you did say, Juancho, that this is not a battle, although Mick did say that the husbands are ahead in this particular battle. So I don't know who to believe. But piece of advice for both of you: you guys are never going to win. So no, take it from me. No, just go ahead and apologize.